Okay, Zara, off you go.
Grandad, what was the worst bit of being in the war?
What was the first one?
Worst bit of being in the war.
The worst bit was losing some of my friends who were pilots. A lot of them went up in smoke. That was very sad. And I loved the number of them. When I say loved, I mean I appreciated it. So that's my answer to that.
Second question.
So, next question.
What did you regret most during the war?
I enjoyed my war, but I regretted the loss of family life. I think that's self-explanatory.
Okay. Question 3. How did everyone react when the war was over?
Right. I've got down here, most got drunk, me included, and everyone seemed to enjoy themselves.
Question 4. What did you do when the war was over?
I've got one word here, architecture. I went to Edinburgh College of Art 2 weeks after I finished flying, and attended the college.
How did it feel to have won the war?
Well, it felt, I was pleased to have done my little bit as a Halifax bomber pilot and a tug pilot. A tug pilot meant that I towed gliders in readiness for some of the attacks on the continent.
Okay.
But I never was in action in any of these.
Okay. What made you join the Air Force?
Well, I had a little, I put this down as the first answer. I was playing tennis. Now, I may be a little long-winded here, but I'll do it as quickly as I can. I was playing tennis on the courts near where we lived with my neighbor and friend, Pat, who was my best friend. And we were enjoying belting the ball about, back and forth. Nothing was further from our minds than the war. These courts were partly surrounded by mature trees, and on looking up, I saw what appeared to be 2 aeroplanes having a dogfight. On one of these was the markings of a RAF roundel, which is around like a penny with red in the middle and white and blue. That's a roundel. And the other plane had, would you believe it, the actual cross, German cross. It was probably a Messerschmitt or something like that. Only I hadn't taken any lessons at that time. Aircraft recognition, which I became proficient in later on in my studies. But I thought that'd be an interesting item. And it was only later that I found out that I had been witnessing the first German attack on the British mainland in the Second World War. It was an attack supposed to be on the Versailles dockyard on the north side of the Thames. And Thames, I don't mean Thames, I mean the Forth. Okay?
Okay. Which rank were you?
Oh yes, well, I say here, what was the rank? My answer to this was when I joined up, oh indeed, I haven't actually finished that little bit about my brothers. 3 of my brothers had been in the army. The next day after I'd seen this dogfight, I was so excited about that I joined the RAF VR. VR means Volunteer Reserve. And if you look at my tie here, you will see that it's got a little V down the tie. Can you see it at all yet?
It's a bit blurred here because
Yeah,
it's on
but
the
you know what I mean.
Yes.
There's a V, which stands for Volunteer Reserve, which is what I joined, the RAF-VR. I think that's it now.
No, I have one more question.
Yeah.
Which aeroplanes did you fly?
Well, I flew, I'll go through them all. Tiger Moth, Harvard, Oxford and Anson, all famous planes in their own right, and very good for training on. And then Wellington, the famous Wellington aircraft, with the geodetic construction on like that, metal with a skin surface. I don't mean skin, human skin, I mean fabric. And also the Halifax. That was the biggest one I flew, except that towing the gliders, they were very, very heavy to tow, especially if they're loaded up with guns and troops and whatnot, doing exercises before the big push. So I enjoyed my war, but later quite a number of good friends of mine died, and was the worst part. Here ended my list.
Okay, thank you, Grandad.
Is that all right? Tell me if there's anything else you want to know.
No, that's it. Thank you, Grandad, by the way.
Well, you can, no, it's my pleasure, but what you can do is trim some of the first